Round 1. This round consists of questions in biology, chemistry, physics, mathematics, and ICT. If a school answers the question correctly, 3 points are awarded. If it is incorrectly answered, it becomes available as a bonus to the other 2 schools to compete for. The score for a bonus question is 1 point. The schools will have 15 seconds to answer questions that do not require calculations and 40 seconds to answer questions that require calculations. Bonus questions are open to the other 2 schools to compete for by ringing their buzzers. Can we hear the buzzer for KETAN, Anglican, Naval Base, and BAXFORD International? Okay. So failing to press the buzzer before answering a bonus question in this round nullifies your answer and no points will be awarded even if you are correct. Best wishes to you all as we begin. So the first round of questions. Listen to the preamble. This preamble goes to all schools. What is the primary function of the following parts of a cell? What is the primary function of the following parts of a cell? BAXFORD International, the cell wall.
The cell wall protects the cell and helps to keep the cell's shape.
That's correct for 3 points. Naval base, the nucleus.
The nucleus contains genes for reproduction.
Okay, I'll give you the score 3 points. KETAN Anglican, plasma membrane.
The plasma membrane protects and gives the cell nutrients.
No. Bonus. Naval base.
It controls the movement of substances in and out of the cell.
That is correct for a bonus point. Okay, so for your major question, you don't have to press the buzzer. You only press the buzzer for a bonus question. Alright. Now the second set of questions, we'll start with naval base. What is fertilization in animals? What is fertilization in animals?
Fertilization is the fusion of the male sex cell and the female sex cell to form a zygote.
That is correct for 3 points. KETAN Anglican. In which organ of the reproductive system does fertilization take place in mammals?
Fallopian tube.
That is correct. BAXFORD International. What is the oviduct?
That is the place where implantation takes place.
Okay. I'll give it to you for 3 points. Repeat your answer. Repeat your answer.
Place where
Implantation, that's not correct. Bonus. Naval base.
It is where fertilization takes place, or it is also known as the fallopian tube.
Okay, so that is correct for a bonus point. So the oviduct is the other name for the fallopian tube. It connects the ovaries to the uterus where implantation takes place. Okay, alright. Third set of questions. Preamble to all schools. What is the SI unit of the following quantities? What is the SI unit of the following quantities? We'll start with KETAN Anglican. Power. Watts. That is correct. BAXFORD International. Velocity.
Meter per second.
That is correct. Naval base. Weight.
Newton.
That is correct. The fourth set of questions. BAXFORD International. A piece of stone of mass 60 grams was dropped in a measuring cylinder containing water. The level of the water increased from 40 centimeters cube to 55 centimeters cube. What is the density of the stone?
Four kilograms per meter cube.
No. Bonus question. Naval base.
4 grams.
Finish.
4 grams per centimeter cube.
That is correct, so a bonus. So your figure was correct, but your SI unit was wrong. I said 60 grams and the volume was in centimeter cube, so the answer has to be in grams per centimeter cube. Naval base, your major question. A metal displaces 5 centimeters cube of water when it is completely immersed in a bucket containing water. If the density of the metal was 2.5 grams per centimeter cube, find its mass. That's not correct. Bonus question. BAXFORD.
12.5 kilograms.
No, that's not correct. Okay, so the answer is 12.5 grams. Again, please pay attention to the words. It's grams. KETAN ANGLICAN. The average mass of an iron bar is 35 grams. Find its volume if the density of the iron bar is 2 grams per centimeter cube.
Centimeter cube.
That's not correct. BAXFORD.
70 grams per centimeter cube.
No. The correct answer is 17.5 centimeter cube. It's just a basic change of subject. So you have volume being equal to mass over density. When you put in the figures, you have 35 grams divided by 2 grams per centimeter cube. So you have 17.5 centimeter cube. Okay. So the fifth set of questions. This preamble goes to all schools. You have been served boiled yam with egg stew for lunch. So that's the preamble. You have been served boiled yam with egg stew for lunch. Now, naval base. Name the section of the alimentary canal where digestion of the yam begins as you eat.
Mouth.
That is correct. KETAN ANGLICAN. Which organ will secrete most of the enzymes that completely breaks down the food items into simple sugars, amino acids, and fatty acids?
The stomach.
No.
The gills.
No. Naval base?
Ileum.
No. So I said which organ will secrete? I didn't say where will the digestion take place. So it's the pancreas. It's the pancreas that secretes the pancreatic juice, which breaks down the food items. BAXFORD International. The egg in the stew is broken down in the stomach by the combined action of low pH and an enzyme called
Pepside. Pepsi.
That is correct. So for the next set of questions, the following questions are statements. You are to state whether they are true or false. These questions cannot be passed on as bonuses except the school does not answer. Okay. So we'll start with KETAN ANGLICAN. H2SO4 is an inorganic acid that can be made in the laboratory. H2SO4 is an inorganic acid that can be made in the laboratory. True, that is correct. BAXFORD International. The IPAC nomenclature of CaCO3 is calcium trioxocarbonate 5. The IPAC nomenclature of CaCO3 is calcium trioxocarbonate 5.
True.
That is not correct. It's calcium trioxocarbonate 4, not 5. Naval base. Argon and chlorine are both inert gases. Argon and chlorine are both inert gases.
False.
That is correct. BAXFORD International. The pressure in fluids decreases with depth. The pressure in fluids decreases with depth. That's not correct. The pressure increases with depth. Naval base. A wheelbarrow is an example of a second-class liver. A wheelbarrow is an example of a second-class liver.
True.
That's correct. And the final question for this round, KETAN ANGLICAN. Capillarity is the tendency of fluid to behave like it has a stretched surface. Capillarity is the tendency of liquids to behave like it has a stretched surface. True. That's not correct. The tendency of a fluid to behave like it has a stretched surface is surface tension. Capillarity is the ability of a fluid to rise and fall. Please let's give them a round of applause. So we have come to the end of round 1. Kindly clap louder to give them a bit of a round. So we have come to the end of the first round of this contest. And I know it's not easy being in the hot seat. Please clap for them again. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. So I'd like to take a moment to mention our partners and sponsors. We have the KNUST Junior Science and Maths Quiz being partnered with the Ghana Education Service, ERIDEC Ghana. Kindly give them a round of applause. So at the end of round 1, we have BAXFORD International with 9 points. KETAN ANGLICAN with 9 points. and Naval Base with 21 points. Okay. So we have come to round 2. You want to take a moment to warm up your fingers because this is the fastest finger round. Okay. So this is the fastest finger round. One question will be read out and the contestants will compete to be the first to answer. Each question carries a score of 4 points. Each question in this round carries a score of 4 points. When a contestant is ready to respond, they should press the buzzer before attempting to answer. Answering before pressing the buzzer will disqualify the school from that question. After the buzzer is pressed, the contestants must answer in 3 seconds. So you have to have your answer before you press the buzzer. If a school gets the question wrong, then the 2 remaining schools get to compete to answer. A wrong answer in this round attracts a penalty of 1 point. Best wishes to you all. The first question in round 2. The difference between 2 numbers is 10 and their sum is 24. Find the numbers. The difference between 2 numbers is 10 and their sum is 24. Find the numbers. BAXFORD International.
17 and 7.
That is correct. The second question. If n of A is 8 and n of B is 6, and the sets A and B are disjoint sets, find n of A union B. If n of A is 8 and n of B is 6, and the sets A and B are disjoint, find n of A union B. BAXFORD.
0.
That is not correct. NAVAL Base.
14.
That is correct. So for the disjoint sets, their intersection is 0, so the union will be the sum of the 2 sets. So that's why it's 14. The third question. Which organism causes tetanus? Which organism causes tetanus? KETAN ANGLICAN.
Rusty metal.
Sorry?
Rusty metal.
I asked. The question was which organism? So it's a bacteria. It's a bacteria. Okay. The fourth question. What is the name given to a triangle with 2 of its angles being 40 degrees and 70 degrees? What is the name given to a triangle with 2 of its angles being 40 degrees and 70 degrees? Naval Base.
Acute triangle.
No. Anyone in the audience? Yes. Isosceles triangle. Because the sum of the angles in a triangle is 180. So if one is 40 and one is 70, the sum is 110. So the last angle will also be 70. And any triangle that has 2 equal angles is an isosceles triangle. Alright. Please let's give the lady in the audience a round of applause. The fifth question. After digestion, where in the body is glucose stored and how is it stored? After digestion, where in the body is glucose stored and how is it stored? Audience. So glucose is stored in the liver as glycogen. Glucose is stored in the liver as glycogen. Okay. The sixth question. Kwame is doing his laundry at home. The water he's using does not lather. Name a chemical that he can use to make the water lather. Kwame is BAXFORD.
Chlorine.
No. KETAN Anglican.
Sodium carbonate.
That is correct. So if the water is not lathered, it means hard water. So you add sodium carbonate to make the water softer so that it can lather. In the seventh question, in computing, the abbreviation URL stands for BAXFORD.
Uniform resource locating.
That is correct. And the final question in this round. A force of 10 Newton causes a body to move a distance of 380 centimeters in the direction of the force. Calculate the work done. A force of 10 Newton causes a body to move a distance of 380 centimeters in the direction of the force. Calculate the work done. Naval base.
38 joules.
That is correct. So work done is Newton per meter. So because you have 300 Newton meter, sorry, so because you have 380 centimeters, convert it to meters and you multiply by 10. So this brings us to the end of the fastest finger round. So at the end of round 2, we have KETAN Anglican with 12 points. Let's give them a round of applause. BAXFORD International, 15 points. And Naval Base, 28 points. So we are about to begin round 3. Round 3 is the Science and Technology Challenge that is proudly sponsored by DEX Technologies. So in this round, one question will be given to all the schools. The question in this round will require the contestants to perform a task that will be assessed. The score for this round is 10 points. The contestants will be given 8 minutes to to complete the task and answer the questions. You can turn over your sheets. So the challenge for this contest, you have been given 2 batteries A and B of potential difference 1.5 volts each. You also have been given an LED labeled L, a key labeled K, and a capacitor labeled C. The first task, construct a series circuit consisting of A, B, L, and K, and close the key K. Then open the key. Observe what happens to the LED when the key is closed. For the questions related to that task, you have to draw the circuit diagram of what you have put together and state what happens to the LED when the key is opened after completing the task. Now task 2. Connect the capacitor C in parallel to the LED. Close the key, wait for about 30 seconds, and open the key to observe the LED. After that, you have to state what happens to the LED when the key is opened after completing task 2. I hope everything is clear. So make sure you have all the components. You can check in the plastic bag in front of you. Make sure you have 2 batteries labeled A and B, an LED labeled L, a key labeled K, and a capacitor labeled C. You have all the components. You have all the components. Okay. So you can begin work. Your 8 minutes starts now. We have about 10 minutes left. Okay, so the time is up. Kindly submit your sheets. BAXFORD International. NAVAL base. knowledge challenge. You were asked you had two separate tasks. The first was to connect your batteries, the LED, and your key in series and draw the circuits. That gives you, drawing the circuits gives you a mark, and then connecting the circuits properly gives you 2 marks. Then answering correctly what happens to the LED when the key is opened after completing the task also gives you 1 mark. So when you connect everything in series properly, the LED will come on. And when you open the key, it goes off immediately. Now I realize that almost all the schools were having issues connecting the components in series. First of all, you know that your batteries, they have a positive and a negative. So if you connect the positive to the positive, it won't work. Current will not flow. So you were supposed to check that. Secondly, the LED is a diode. Current will flow only one direction. So you had to be sure that you are connecting the positive points of the battery to the negative points of the diode. Otherwise, again, it won't work. So I realized all 3 schools were having that challenge. So because of that, both BAXFORD and NAVAL base said the light will not come on, which is wrong. It was because it was either your batteries were connected wrongly or your LED was connected in the opposite direction. Okay. Right. So for that, you don't get any points. But for making an attempt to draw the circuit and using the correct annotations, correct diagrams, BAXFORD, you get 1 point. Then for the task 2, you couldn't get there at all because you were struggling with the task 1. So for this round, BAXFORD gets 1 point. Now NAVAL base, you also had a similar challenge. So also for attempting to draw the circuit, you get 1 point. And then for all the others, you get no point. So for this round, you also get 1 point. KETAN ANGLICAN. Unfortunately, your diagram was not with the correct symbols. So you don't get any points for the diagram. And then we set the LED switches on when the switch is open. But the question was to turn it on, to close the key and open it. So when you close the key, the LED switch is on. When you open it, the LED switch is off. So your answer for that is also wrong. So you get no points for this challenge. Okay, so at the end of round 3, we have KETAN ANGLICAN with 12 points. Please give them a round of applause. BAXFORD International, 16 points. And NAVAL base, 29 points. So we are going to go straight into the final round of this contest, which is the riddles round. And anything can happen at this point. KETAN ANGLICAN wants to make a substitution. Okay, let's give Richmond a hand as he takes his seat. And let's welcome Sarah with a big round of applause. Okay, so moving straight into the final round of this contest. And this is the riddles round. Riddle, riddle. Riddle, riddle. So for this round, the questions will be read out as series of clues. If the question is answered on the first clue, the school gets 6 points. If answered correctly on the second clue, 5 points. On the third clue, 4 points. And on the fourth or any other number of clues is 3 points. As usual, the contestants are to press the buzzer before attempting to answer the question. Failure to press the buzzer before answering disqualifies you from the question and nullifies your answer, even if it is correct. So to avoid ambiguity, as I read out the clues, I'm going to demonstrate with my finger so you see which clue I'm reading out. Okay. So for the first riddle in this round, I am a single reflection of sound. I am the principle bats use to find their way. The time it takes for me to be heard is directly proportional to the distance of the reflecting surface from the source and the listener. The human ear cannot distinguish between me and the original sound if the delay is less than 1/10 of a second. Like a parrot, I easily learn by repeating every word you say. Who am I? BAXFORD. No. Anyone in the audience want to try? Yes. I saw a hand. Yes. Echo is correct. Echo is correct. Echo is correct. So for the second riddle, living organisms need me to live. I am a quantitative property that is transferred to a body. I'm recognizable in the performance of work. I can neither be created nor destroyed. Naval base.
Energy.
That is correct. So you get 3 points because I was on the fourth clue. Okay. So for the third riddle, I am the name given to a complex of oxides and hydroxides of iron. The chemical formula for my catalyst is H2O. Naval base.
Water.
No. The third clue. I am sometimes likened to corrosion. I am usually reddish brown. KETAN.
Oxygen.
No. The fourth clue. I am usually reddish brown in color. And the final clue. I am simply the oxidation of iron. Who am I? Unfortunately, you didn't press your buzzer before answering the question. So the answer was correct, but you were supposed to press your buzzer before answering the question. So it is right. The fourth and final question in this round. I am a physical quantity. Even though I am a physical quantity, I have no width, length, or height. I see myself as a graduate because I am measured in degrees. Naval base.
Temperature.
Temperature is correct. 4 points. So this brings us to the end of round 4 and the end of this contest. Let's give the contestants a big round of applause. Okay, so my consultants have agreed that we should give BAXFORD the 3 points because they were the last school required to give an answer. But with a warning that next time, press your buzzer before. If it is in the instructions that you're supposed to press your buzzer before answering, you press your buzzer before answering. So that's what the 3 points that this morning's afternoon's contest. We have KETAN Anglican finishing with 12 points. BAXFORD International with 19 points. And NAVAL base qualifying to the finals with 36 points. NAVAL base, you are qualified to the next stage, which will be held on Wednesday. So there are going to be 6 contests in total, and the winners from each of the contests will meet on Wednesday. And then the the winners from that contest will meet at the national finals in Kumasi in December. So that's how this contest is going to go. Let's give them again a round of applause. And congratulations to NAVAL base educators. KETAN Anglican and BAXFORD International, we appreciate your participation and good kudos to everything that you did. Let's give them a hand again.